Thanks so much, Anna Marie. And for those I haven't yet had the pleasure to meet, either in person or virtually, I'm Steve Grossman, CEO of ICIC, the Initiative for a Competitive Inner City. And welcome, by the way, to our offices right here in Boston. And if you're ever in Boston, call me and come visit. We'd love to see you. I'd like to start today, our final day of the 2022 annual conference, by expressing boundless gratitude to our extraordinary ICIC staff, 52 strong, and our event partners who are responsible for the last several days of learning, collaborating, networking, and growing. I'd like to once again thank our major sponsors. Without their support, this conference would simply not be possible. First, our principal, visionary, and innovator sponsors, Chevron, FedEx, Edward Jones, Bain Capital, Regions Bank, PNC Bank. We're so proud to be associated with every one of you. I'd also like to thank our pioneer sponsors and our partners, Appleton Partners, Arcturus Impact Investors, Boston Consulting Group, Salesforce, ER2, Santander Bank. And how can I say enough about the ICIC staff, which I've had the privilege of leading for almost 8 years. Our entire team of more than 50 professionals had a hand in making this conference an engaging and rewarding experience for all participants. I'd like to send a special shout out to the working group that led the direction and execution of the annual conference every step of the way. But I'd like to start with Liz Pugh and Nadia Larasati. Liz in particular, she's led this conference now for the past few years, and she is an extraordinary partner. Thanks to the rest of the committee that worked alongside Liz and Nadia, Kwanzaa Johnson, April King, Andre Legister, Jasmine Martin, Carol Mejia, Marini Ponce, Diego Portillo Mazal, and Callan Small. And to the team that worked to curate and publish this year's impact report, do not miss the impact report. I'll talk more about it later. Our new Director of Marketing and Communications, Andre Legister, and his colleague Jasmine Martin, Naomi Bekele, Miles Chandler, Dustin Farris, Dana Laurie, April King, Paula Markell, Jonesy Moore, Callan Small, Mike Shore, and Indy Tavares. These ICIC teams worked in lockstep with our event partners. I'd like to acknowledge each of them for their amazing work. First, our longtime design partner, One Visual Mind, Carol Maglita and Karen Beck, the masterminds who created and implemented the event design, as well as the design of our impact report. Next, thanks to Mode Studios. We've partnered with them for the past few years. They're incredible. The Mode team, including Colleen Bonial, Carl Glabe, and Michelle Polanco, led our conference content production, or in the business known as run of show. Thanks to White Knight Studios of Binghamton, New York, Ellen Barton, an alumna of one of our programs, and Maddie Tinney, who are responsible for the production of our Inner City 100 Special Award videos, which you'll get to see later today, as well as the powerful stories of impact included in this year's impact report. Special appreciation to Artists for Humanity, Rich Frank and Dylan Nguyen, who led the team of Boston-based creatives who designed and created the unique Inner City 100 Awards we'll present later this evening. Thanks to Arsenal Productions, Scott Poulin, our web developer, who built the site pages that feature this year's Inner City 100 list and awardees. Appreciation to Boston Communications, specifically Dave Wedge, who helped author the amazing small business stories featured in this year's impact report. As most of you know, ICIC was founded as a research organization by Harvard Business School professor Dr. Michael Porter. Our research agenda over the past 28 years has positioned our organization as the leading and most trusted resource on the economies of under-resourced communities. Our research team, overseen by Dr. Howard Weil, has led several exciting new projects and initiatives this year. And I'd like to share a little bit of information about each of them with you. First, a coronavirus recession and recovery tool funded by the Ewing Marion Kauffman Foundation, that tracked the impact of the pandemic on businesses in the nation's 100 largest metropolitan areas and their under-resourced communities. This research enabled us to identify the sizes and locations of businesses and the kinds of business owners that most needed our help to recover from the pandemic. Next, in collaboration with the W.E. Upjohn Institute for Employment Research, ICIC co-sponsored a national conference on inclusive economic development and recovery strategies. This conference assessed the impact of small business recovery programs and highlighted the most critical economic development trends affecting under-resourced communities and entrepreneurs of color. Our research on small business technical assistance policy extended the reach of our small business assistance programs by identifying public policies that can make those programs and others like them more effective by filling critical gaps in the technical assistance landscape. In collaboration with LISC, we also extended the reach of our small business technical assistance programs via a Train the Trainer curriculum and an accompanying research report designed to inform technical assistance providers throughout the nation about financing options for small businesses. Since Michael Porter started ICIC back in 1994, ICIC has been a laboratory for experimentation and innovation. So I'd like to turn our attention to some new ICIC initiatives which are underway and which we began this year. First, our Building for Growth Construction Cluster Initiative. Earlier this year, we launched a new tuition-free education program to help BIPOC or minority-owned and woman-owned construction contractors build capacity and develop sustainable growth strategies that position their businesses to increase revenues and profits. Our inaugural cohort was comprised of 54 participating companies located in 19 states, 91% of which are BIPOC-owned and more than 50% of which are woman-owned. These businesses engaged in an intensive 21-session curriculum on topics relevant to their industry, and we're thrilled with its success. In fact, we just had our graduation ceremony recently. A lot of energy in that room, believe me. We're planning to offer 2 more Building for Growth cohorts next year. So for construction businesses in our audience today, please reach out to bfg@icic.org to get involved or to nominate a company that could benefit from this program. Or just email me, sgrossman@icic.org, and let us know, and we'll make sure they're included. Next, our newest program pilot, Succession Ready Rhode Island. ICIC has partnered with New Majority Capital Foundation, Babson College, Community College of Rhode Island, and the Rhode Island Commerce Foundation to provide small business owners considering retirement with education and tools needed to preserve small businesses and preserve local jobs. The program just completed its inaugural cohort comprised of 19 local businesses that engaged with the 5-module educational curriculum. We're actively working on taking this pilot to scale and encourage anyone interested to email successionready@icic.org. I'll repeat that, successionready, all one word, @icic.org. Finally, our newest research collaboration. In partnership with SRI, ICIC is working on a project related to regional economic connectivity as a pathway to tackling concentrated poverty and advancing inclusive innovation, building upon ICIC's earlier pioneering work on cluster-based economic development. We could not be more grateful to the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation and the Kresge Foundation for their support of this cutting-edge research. If you were with us for day 1 of the conference, I'm sure you saw some of our Stories of Impact videos that played during the breaks. Each of these videos feature ICIC program alumni and share stories about how these strong entrepreneurs have navigated the seemingly endless array of challenges: staffing shortages, supply chain woes, inflationary pressures, and rising interest rates, just to name a few. We couldn't be prouder of these heroes whose energy and optimism continue to inspire us every single day. The small business owners across the United States and Canada we were privileged to work with in 2022 knew that new strategies were required to deal with the seismic shifts caused by the pandemic and global economic uncertainty, and they responded admirably. They stepped out of their comfort zones to innovate, adapt, build resilience, and pivot with extraordinarily impressive results. These stories of impact videos are just one component of ICIC's 2022 Impact Report, which can be accessed in its entirety on this conference platform or on our website, icic.org. The report's theme, just like this conference, is open for business. And in addition to the videos, there are other written stories of impact and a snapshot reporting of the activities and initiatives undertaken by each of our programs and our research. It also provides insight into ICIC's reach and, of course, our impact. And now it's my great pleasure to turn things over to our host for the conference, my colleague Anna Marie Cruz, who will share some of the key highlights and statistics from our 2022 Impact Report and let you know what you can expect from today's programming. Anna Marie, take it away.